So with the emergence of Morgan Rogers, the England number 10 position has kind of become more of a talking point, right? Who is the best option for England in that number 10 position? Or who are the best options for England in that front three behind Harry Kane positions? Right? There's always a talk about, okay, Saka's kind of nailed on what he's done for England, what he's done for Arsenal. He's kind of the best right wing option that England really have. So he's kind of nailed on. Harry Kane, obviously, nailed on. Now it's about who's the 10 and who's the left winger or left option position, or is it going to be a 3 in midfield? All this talk about who's the best option and what's the best formation and whatever. Now, let's actually dive into why I think, who I think, and where I think the best options are where they are. Before I get into this video, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Almost at 500 subscribers. Please help us get there before the year ends. Now, before the emergence of Elliot Anderson, it was always just talk about, okay, maybe we can play Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice in a kind of a midfield too. Bellingham can kind of be the box-to-box, and you play Palmer in the 10. But then Declan Rice became more of a box-to-box midfielder when he joined Arsenal. So it wasn't really like he was sitting anymore. Now you don't want to limit his ability to carry the ball into the attacking third, and you want to play a double pivot, but you want him to be able to go up and down. Jude Bellingham in his Real Madrid career has kind of shown you that he's not a sitting midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder. He's not really even a 10 in my opinion. He's more of an 8. So I don't even think he's the best option in the 10 position in terms of, do you want to play a 10? Do you want to play a midfield 3? Maybe that can work. But a 10, I'm not sure Jude Bellingham is the best option for that position because of kind of his skill set. You don't want to limit him, right? Okay, so who's actually the best option? Because you have Palmer, you have Bellingham, you have Morgan Rogers, and you have Phil Foden. Phil Foden, who's having one of his best seasons, in my opinion. It might not be the most statistically incredible season, not his PFA season a couple seasons ago, but he's performing at an extremely high level, and he's playing more like an 8 role. So yeah, Phil Foden's an option, but we've seen Phil Foden for England for years now, and it's always been a failure. So I can't see a situation where Phil Foden starts at the World Cup. So now we're down to 3. Bellingham, Palmer, Foden. Cole Palmer in the 10 is a viable option, but what I've seen from him at Chelsea, he doesn't really look that great in the 10 role. Physicality, he's not really physically gifted enough. And then in terms of the way he goes, kind of hides behind defenders, kind of plays as a false 9 when he plays in the 10 position. Box crashing, doesn't really want to find space in the midfield. When I watch other 10, like high level 10s in world football, they're kind of moving. They're always moving. Palmer just walks around. He doesn't really make himself an option in the 10 position. When he plays on the right side, you can see a lot more of his game. His playmaking, he can cut in and strike. He's just his IQ seems higher in the right wing position than it does in the 10 position. So I'm not sure I want to see Cole Palmer as the number 10 for England at the World Cup. So now we're down to 2, Bellingham or Morgan Rogers. Now I mentioned it before, Bellingham is more of an 8 to me. He's not a pure 10. He's not a pure creative player. He's not a pure dribbler. He's not a 10 in my opinion. And you see them in Madrid, they play him there, but we see he drops deep at times. He goes back, he tackles, he wins the ball back. He's more of an all-action, all-round midfielder. And me saying he's not a 10, he's not like an insult or a slight at him. He's an incredible player, but he's an incredible player as a number 8. As a 10, he's viable. He'll get you goals, he'll get you assists, but he doesn't look as good as when you let him just roam and be an all-action, box-to-box, end-to-end midfielder. But the number 10 position really relies on, one, what are the left wingers for England doing? Namely, Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford. Anthony Gordon has been poor for well over a year now. So I don't even want to see him start. I don't even think that would be to England's benefit if he starts. Marcus Rashford has kind of picked it up at Barcelona, right? He started a little bit hot. He's kind of run cold recently. Rafinha's come back into the squad. So you're going to see probably less of Rashford being a starter, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how Barcelona use Rashford leading up to the World Cup. I think if Rashford is a bench player or comes off the bench every game, his chances for starting for England are going to be significantly lowered. But then you have to also look at the midfield positions for England. Declan Rice, Elliot Anderson, I think, are the two favored pairings right now. Elliot Anderson has been great for Nottingham Forest this season, and he was great last season as well. You see when he plays, he's such a metronomic, controlling midfielder. He gets on the ball a lot. He can break the line. He has a great range of passing. Obviously, he wins the ball back. Great in the tackle. Great defensively. Great just midfielder, right? Great all around. Maybe not in the attacking third box, midfielder, but between the boxes, he's incredible, right? He really has no flaws in his game. So you look at him and how Thomas Tuchel speaks about him, he kind of has to start. Declan Rice, we already know, has to start. So you're stuck with who's going to be the 10 and who's going to be the left wing position. In my ideal world, you would play Jude Bellingham in the 10 and kind of let him be a roaming 8 and kind of go box to box and you let the entire midfield kind of just be a little bit fluid. Obviously not all of them running up and all of them running down, but there's situations where you can let Jude Bellingham drop deep and Declan Rice will make the run into the box. You can be fluid like that. But then that also means Morgan Rogers has to play on the left wing. And for a couple of reasons why I think he has to play on the left wing. One, he's just having a better season than Rashford and Gordon. His skill sets, he has the skill sets of both of those players combined, right? He has the speed, he has the pace, he has the dribbling ability, he has the link up. He has better link up ability than both of them. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it 100. He's more of a creative player than both of them. I know Rashford has created a lot of goals this season, but Rashford is more of a forward winger, goal scoring type of player. Morgan Rogers is more of a creator that just happens to be scoring a lot of goals recently, right? And then you look at Morgan Rogers' skill set compared to the other players in the 10 position that I mentioned, Bellingham, Foden, and Palmer. He has the physical attributes of a Bellingham. He can go box to box. He can drive with the ball. He can carry the ball better than anybody in the Premier League, in my opinion. Then you look at Palmer. Palmer's intricate passing, his little slip balls, his little cute passes. Morgan Rogers also has that in the bag. Then you look at Foden. Foden's ball striking ability is probably his best quality. Morgan Rogers can strike a ball just as well. So he has the attributes of the three main competitors in the 10th position, but he maybe not to the level, but he has all of it. Right, you don't see Foden with that ball carrying ability. You don't see Foden with maybe that the most intricate passing ability. Foden can find a pass, maybe not as intricate as Palmer can. Palmer at the same time doesn't have the physical attributes of a Bellingham. Can't really run with the ball as well. Can't ride challenges. Can't do all that. Bellingham he can't pass like a Palmer or Foden. He doesn't really strike the ball as well as a Palmer or Foden. So you look at Rogers. Rogers can kind of do everything that the other three can do. He's more of a versatile option, right? And not just that, he can play in the 10 and he can also play in the left wing position. None of them can do that. None of those players can play in the left wing position. So he's kind of best positioned player out of the four of them. I know Bellingham has kind of shown up for England, so the thought of dropping Bellingham to the bench kind of sounds crazy. Palmer or Foden, it's understandable. We don't need them to start. England doesn't need them to start. But you look at Rogers, he has the tools and the skill set that if Thomas Tuchel decides I want to bench Bellingham, Foden, and Palmer, I can play Rogers in the 10. I can even play Rashford out wide. But if I want to play Bellingham or Palmer or Foden, I can still play Rogers out wide. So he's kind of become the most versatile option in the England attacking setup, because we've seen for Aston Villa, he's played on the right, he's played on the middle, he's played on the left. He's played all three positions, and no other English player can say that they've played those positions or that they can excel in those positions. So he's become a very, very complete option for the England national team. And the form that we're seeing recently in the last kind of winning streak that Aston Villa are on, is kind of coinciding with Morgan Rogers' form. The way he picked his form up, you saw Aston Villa kind of pick their form up as well. right? The first couple of games of the season, they were terrible. He was terrible. He looked like he wasn't even the half the player he was last season. And then he picked it up. They figured it out. And now you're seeing the Morgan Rogers. And you look at him in terms of that 10 position in the Premier League. The entire skill set, he's probably the most complete 10 in the Premier League, in my opinion. A guy that can pick a pass, finish, create, and drive with the ball. Kind of everything you want in a modern day midfielder, in a modern day 10. He has all those skills, those tools in his toe bag. So if I'm Thomas Tuchel, my lineup would be either one of Palmer on the right, Palmer or Saka on the right, Bellingham or Palmer down the middle, or Rodgers, and then Rodgers or Rashford on the left. The best, I think, what will probably be the best and probably be the most fluid and effective lineup for England, I think would be Saka, Bellingham, and Rodgers on the left. I think that would be great because you also have to think about the way Harry Kane plays the game. Harry Kane wants to drop deep. You have players like Bellingham and Rodgers who are great running from deep, great timing runs, great getting into the box and being a nuisance. That's perfect. That's the perfect kind of player that Harry Kane want to play with. Rashford is also great, but I think Rodgers is just the IQ and the skill set is so it's just such good compatibility. Everything is just so compatible. And you can match him with any lineup you put out in that England squad. If you want to play Foden in the 10, he matches with Foden. If you want to play Palmer, he can match with Palmer. You want to play Bellingham, he can match with Bellingham. You want to play him down the middle and play Rashford, he can match with anybody in that English lineup. So for me, the way it's looking right now, let's see what happens when we get to April, May. But if I were to make a decision, I want Morgan Rogers starting, not just because of his form recently. I take into account his form last season, and I take into account the fact that he's so versatile and so complete. He can kind of, and you also have to think about the matchups that England plays. The teams England will play against. Morgan Rogers is probably one of the best players that you can play against every single team in the world. If you play against a team that's more, will control the ball more, maybe a Spain or a Portugal, with more controlling midfielders, maybe even Argentina or teams like that, and you want to hit them on the counterattack, Morgan Rogers is great for that. Can drive with the ball, can link up. He's a perfect counter-attacking player. But even if you play against a team that sits deep and kind of wants to frustrate you, you're going to get more out of Rodgers than you would with Anthony Gordon, Marcus Rashford, because he's more of a creative player as well and an incredible dribbler. So he can unlock defenses with his dribbling, unlock defenses with his passing. So you have the best of both worlds in there. So this is more like this is really a Morgan Rogers glazed session. But when I look at that England setup and what they need, and I look at how boring they play football sometimes, how slow it is, how lethargic it is, Morgan Rogers is a guy that just picks it up and excites things. He gets things going. And that, for me, is the reason why I think he has to be a starter in that English setup. Let's see what happens the rest of the season. As of now, what I've seen in the last 18 months, I would rather Morgan Rogers be a starter than basically any of those guys right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Am I being exaggerative on Morgan Rogers? Let me know the thoughts. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys very, very soon.